Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Hello to our audience and panelists today. My name is Mark O'Brien, and I'm your MC for today's webcast. Thank you very much for joining us. We've got a very lively interaction scheduled for you today with the community. First of all, our panelists, people on the call today, on the next slide here is going to be myself, Roger Griffith, User Group Community President, Summer Proch, and John Rhodes of CM First Group. And then we'll be followed by our two lightning talk speakers, Tim Rowe of IBM and Richard diZerega of Microsoft. So we've got, as you know, if you've been on this before, we have a poll question that we always lead with. And that's, which AI vendor are you working with the most? Would it be OpenAI, IBM, Microsoft, Google, or other? Reminder that our organizers and panelists don't vote. And also, if you, for our attendees, if you have not registered for the free ability to remotely attend the conference keynotes, you should really do that. There's no better way to show support, even if you can't attend the conference itself. You should attend the keynotes. There's no way to a better way to show support for your community than being involved in the future of our own software packages and its impact on the future business. Now let's see our results for AI vendors. Now, OpenAI and Microsoft. Actually, the most popular one was other. Now, if that's the Meta Ray-Ban virtual glasses having an influence on that or not. No one like Google. And sorry, yeah, Tim, IBM lagged behind there a little bit. Well, we can turn those results around, Tim, by starting us off on our first lightning talk today.
All right. Thank you very much. Yeah, so for sure, one of the things that we've been actively working on here on our IBMI world, first off, the world of IBMI, it is certainly not stagnant. We have continued to do all sorts of amazing new things to help our users be able to write modern applications, leveraging the existing support in all sorts of cool and new ways. I wasn't planning on showing a screen for this. Certainly could if you wanted me to.
Yeah, we can.
One second. Let me throw up a slide. Screen 2. Let me go up to that one. So when we talk about our IBMI and all the things that we have been doing, there. Can you see my screen?
Looks good, yes.
Yeah, we have been on this continuous innovation, continuous integration roadmap, continuing to look at all sorts of different ways that we can do modernization, helping our customers, not just for the last 36 years, but what are we going to do for the next 36 years? How is development going to change? What should development look like? What are the other pieces of the business that need to be incorporated, and how can we do that? And so AI is a big piece of that, as well as some of these other things. And so certainly for my keynote, we're going to dive into what are we doing at IBM for IBMI around the world of AI. We've got about 3 or 4 different prongs on the spoke that are actively being worked today. We're super excited about what that looks like, whether that's incorporating and leveraging AI with your data. Now, we've done some of that already. When you think about things like geospatial analytics, that's an area that we did some stuff in. you already own it. It's on your box. Being able to look at, data and address data and do some analysis on it, right? So there's a small piece of AI. You already own it. It's already part of IBM. It can be leveraged today. It's part of the database. But let's expand that. When we talk about AI, what else can we do with it? Additional incorporations of AI on your data. There's incorporating AI to help manage your system. Why can't AI, if you have a problem, recommend how to maybe correct it? And then additionally, how can we leverage AI with the development of our applications to be able to do and write applications in a more modern manner? And so really AI is becoming one of the centerpieces of our strategic focus areas on the system. And we're excited about what's coming over the next couple of weeks and months. All right, there's my lightning blast.
Great. Well, stay tuned, everyone, and Tim will have a lot more to say at his keynote, which is going to be on the Tuesday, the 15th of October. I'd like to turn our attention right now to Roger Griffith, our community president, who's going to talk about what we have in store for the conference going forward.
Thank you, Mark. Get the next slide here. Okay, so as Mark mentioned, today we've got two exciting lightning talks. You just heard one of them from Tim, and we're going to discuss a little bit more about the conference. We're going to discuss the boot camp option, which we've offered last year, and we're offering again this year. It was such a success. Summer is going to talk about the venue for the conference in Austin, Texas, as well as logistics, pricing, et cetera, et cetera. And then Richard is going to talk about some AI solutions with Microsoft's CoPilot. And we're going to do some poll questions at the end, and then we'll take your questions. So I just want to remind everyone, if you would please hold your questions till the end, or put them into the console, and we'll make sure that we answer all your questions at the end of today's webinar. Go to the next slide. So, so as we've mentioned, the theme for this conference is on AI, and the conference is a 3-day conference. It's a Tuesday through a Thursday, so it's a little bit different this year. We normally go Monday through Wednesday. So we're going to start it on Tuesday about noon, and it's 3 days of learning, team building, networking, and just a lot of fun. So to mention again, we're offering the boot camp. The boot camp's a little bit different this year because we're offering the boot camp not only in person, but you can attend the boot camp virtually. So the conference as a whole can be attended either in person or virtual. And I'm guessing at this point, if you haven't registered yet, the virtual option is probably the most attractive option for you. But we've also got some really fun special events in store for everyone that I think everyone's going to really enjoy. So once again, our theme for the conference is artificial intelligence and RPA, and we're going to get into a lot of cool stuff that I think everyone's going to learn from. You're going to see some new stuff you've never seen before, and we're really excited to offer this conference, and it's definitely going to be something that is new and refreshing, and I think everyone's going to have a great time. And once again, we're going to offer the hands-on training, and that's going to be on Thursday. Okay, so the first day of the conference, which actually starts at 2 o'clock, is from 2 to 3 is our registration. And then the conference actually kicks off at 3 o'clock, where we're going to have our welcome to the conference session, just kind of discuss what you're going to see over the next few days. We're going to introduce our sponsors, which our sponsors really make this conference go. We really appreciate our sponsors, and you're going to get an opportunity to meet them and kind of talk with them a little bit there. So from 3:30 to 6:30 is all keynote speakers, both AI and automation, as well as Broadcom and IBM. So we definitely got some top level people who are coming to speak with us at this conference. So we really appreciate them coming and helping us out and speaking with our community. Oh, and I don't want to miss, from 6 to 8 is the Top Golf and Dinner. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you've never been to Top Golf, you're in for a treat. It is an absolute blast. We've done it before, and it's just a huge hit. So you're going to really have a good time at the Top Golf event on day 1. So day 2 is a full day, and this is where we have most of our sessions, and so it's going to be on practical uses of AI, implementing automation, modernizing legacy applications, as well as DevOps. And then we also have some more kind of traditional Plex 2E content. There's 2 tracks, Plex and 2E, and the best sessions we have every year are always the customer show and tell, tips and techniques, and new release and feature information. So that's what you're going to see on day 2. And then from 6 to 8 is our special event hosted by CM First, and you'll just have to come to the conference to find out what that special event is, but guaranteed it'll be something that you'll really enjoy.
Oh, Roger, I don't know if you fell out there, but day 3 was all about hands-on training, 3 separate training tracks from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. First track will be Microsoft Azure AI Studio.
To our next slide.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Day 3 is our hands-on learning. So this is kind of a partial day. It goes from 8 to 3, and there's 3 training tracks. Track 1 is on Microsoft Azure AI Studio. Track 2, legacy modernization, and track 3 is on automation. And so is most of interest to you, and get an opportunity to get your hands on the software and learn some really cool stuff that I think will be of value to you. And then we're going to end the conference at 3 o'clock and let you hop on your flights to return home. So pricing for the conference, if you choose to attend in person, is $510. We have a buy 3, get 1 free for $1,197 if you choose to do that. Or you can attend virtually for $119. My guess is most of you at this point probably looking at the virtual option, but I really want to encourage you to register for the conference. Go to our website and click on the link for the conference and get registered. We really need to have the community attend this conference and keep this thing going strong. You'll have an opportunity to win a Formula One ticket at the end of today's webcast. So right after the conference on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the Formula One Grand Prix in Austin, Texas. And I did that event a few years ago, and it is absolutely amazing. So if there's any way you can come to the conference and then stay over and attend the Formula One race, I guarantee you it will be worth your time.
Thanks, Roger. A nice overview. I wanted to talk for a minute about the TUI and Plex Bootcamp training, which will start on Wednesday and conclude on Thursday. It is included in the conference fee, whether you are remote or whether you're in person. And we cover a lot of ground there, and size up the people that want a refresher, as well as people that need more, need more immersion. And it's a tremendous opportunity if you're a developer, if you're in management or an analyst, and you want to learn more about how these software modeling tools are organized and what happens in our foundational as well as our advanced training camps that we still run. So, and that note is actually updated. We are allowing people on the remote ticket, which is $119, to attend that as well. The classes are filling up, so if you think that's important in your organization, please get on the conference site and select whichever bootcamp tool your Plex would be most appropriate for your organization. And we couldn't have the conference without having sponsors, and Broadcom, CM First, ANI, and then Mid-Range Dynamics is a new sponsor this time. So that should be really good. They're very, very well known in the IBMI community. And then we have Sodiza representing Latin America, and Futura Sistemi in Italy. So we've got really good coverage across the places where the TUI and Plex systems are located. Now here's Summer to talk a little bit more about the venue and the hotel.
Hi everyone. So Topgolf is an entertainment venue with a high-tech driving range for those golf lovers, and it's also across from the Domain, which is Austin's second downtown. And across from that, next slide please. And across from that is the hotel, and today is the final deadline for the hotel rate of $209 for a room. So you guys should go ahead and book that. You can get the link from Plex2E, the website, or you can also reach out to me. Thank you.
And then here's more information on how to register. Please go to plex2e.com, the website, or send an email to info@plex2e.com if you've got any questions about what to expect with the conference. And now it's time for poll question number 2, which would be for our attendees: what AI use cases is your company most interested in? Would it be a personalized customer experiences? Would it be fraud detection and prevention? How about predictive analytics? Or automated content generation? And 5th would be IT automation and modernization. We're not ranking these, but you can, multiple answers are allowed. We'll allow our attendees a few more seconds here. So customer experience, fraud detection, predictive analytics, automated content, or IT automation. Let's see our results. Wow. So a whopping 92% think that IT automation and modernization is a really good use case. Well, by all means, come to the conference, because you'll get you'll really get an incredible. I'll just say that you'll be drinking from a fire hose. You've asked for a glass of water, and this will be covered in great detail in a variety of ways at the conference. And then predictive analytics, a little bit more popular, and then the customer experience, fraud detection, and automated content are all got just about equal billing here. So that's interesting to see that it's pretty even, except for automation and modernization, obviously top of mind with our audience. Now I'd like to introduce you to Richard diZerega of Microsoft. And Richard, let's talk a little bit about the lightning talk and get some people to get excited about seeing your keynote in a couple of weeks.
Great, thanks so much. Really looking forward to being able to meet all of you in person, some virtually, and talk about some really interesting things that Microsoft's doing in the AI space. So let me bring up my screen. Let me know if you are able to see my slides.
Yes.
All right. I'll just start here just to introduce myself a little bit more. My name is Richard. I'm a 15-year Microsoft engineer and evangelist. I came from a professional services background before that. I'm a leader in one of Microsoft's biggest engineering orgs that doesn't actually own a product. What I do is go to different big customers and help them do massive implementations of AI solutions and make sure that they're successful with that. I do live here in Austin. I'm a Texas A&M grad, but I'm married to a Longhorn. Ironically, she also works for IBM, so it's really a house divided in many ways, and we have 2 small kids. I am obsessed with technology, building things in vintage guitars, so feel free to talk to me at the conference about any of those. I will talk your ear off. So let's talk about the era of copilots. We joke around at Microsoft that the name CoPilot is like we should have a drinking game every time it's mentioned, because it's like in every sentence. But we're really deliberate in using that term. There are companies out there that build autopilots. Tesla's a good example. They have an autopilot. That's not what we want to be doing at Microsoft. We really want to assist people in doing their work and make their life easier and not just take it over. So we really see copilots as AI, as a real-time collaborator, something that can help generate content. It sparks creativity. It automates cognitive task and helps you complete work. Now, let me see how I minimize this. There we go. The landscape for Microsoft copilots is pretty massive. We have copilots that really sit alongside almost every product and service that we deliver. Everything from developer copilots, like you see in things like GitHub, to end user tools and things like Microsoft 365 Copilot, sales copilots, even chat with your data type scenarios and things like Fabric. So the landscape for copilots is pretty massive. This really just kind of tries to highlight some of the primary ones, but almost every product in Microsoft is going to have some sort of copilot. Well, how can you jump on that copilot train? So what we're going to end up talking about in my presentation is how we can do everything from adopt what we would call a first-party copilot, something that's already kind of built out for you that might do some functions that help you. If you're a developer, things that can help you write code or improve upon your code quality. If you're just an information worker, how can I help it manage my day better? If you've ever experienced our Copilot for meetings and how I can use that to get meeting notes and to help me get caught up if I'm falling behind or was late joining, it's really magical, some of the things you can do there. But we also have the ability here in the middle to extend Copilot. So how can I add my own functionality or my own data into those Copilots? And then at the far spectrum is, how can I build my own Copilot? I want my own maybe branded Copilot that does a specific thing or provides a specific service to the organization. And so we really want to provide that full spectrum of being able to maybe just use an out-of-the-box Copilot, extend one of those out-of-the-box Copilots, and then build your own. When we talk about building your own, it's also a pretty broad spectrum. I've done massive engineering projects where we built very elaborate generative AI conversational bots. But there's also a lot of low-code approaches we can do with things like Microsoft Copilot Studio, and that's really the area of I would say emerging technology in this space is Copilot Studio, and I'm actually going to show a little bit of that here in a second. So in order to build a Copilot, you really need 3 boxes. You need a persona, you need a use case for that persona, and you need data. So we're here talking about the conference that's coming up. So you are a conference attendee. Our use case is I need information about the conference. And obviously we have a great public website where we can get that data. Why don't we try to be crazy in a 5-minute, build a CoPilot from scratch? And so that's what I'm going to attempt to do here. And to do that, I'm going to use something called CoPilot Studio. This is a low code or no code approach to building a CoPilot, a generative AI conversational experience. And so I'm going to go ahead and kick off creating a brand new one. There's a bunch of like templates that I can start with here, but I'm just going to start like completely blank. Now, to make things, it's almost a joke, but we have a CoPilot for building CoPilots. And I'm going to actually skip that experience because I want to look under the covers a little bit on what this question answer experience is really trying to do. So what I'm going to do is skip to configure. I'll give this a name. We'll call it maybe Conferencey. We'll call it Conferencey with an IE. I'm going to give it a description, and I've done this in advance just so that I don't have to type it in front of you. So I'll give this a quick description, and then I'm going to give it instructions. If you have done anything in the large language model space, which is kind of what's driven this huge insurgence of AI applications, you've probably heard the term around prompt engineering. And this instruction is doing exactly that. It's prompt engineering. We're engineering the information on how we want this chat experience to operate. So you'll see here, I said, your name is Conferencey. You will provide detailed information about the conference, including details on sessions, sponsors, speakers, and schedule. You should ignore conference information from previous years and only focus on this year's upcoming conference that's October 15th through the 17th. Now, as a developer, I tried this yesterday, and the first thing I noticed when I started to ask questions about the conference was it was picking up some previous year's things. And that's a perfect example of how we want to prompt engineer things. We want to be able to, where the user's not always going to put the right information in to get the best answer out. So how can we put as much information, give that model, that large language model, enough context so that it can zero in on the right type of information. And then the final thing is it's saying you need to add some knowledge, right? Like this can't just operate on its own. It'll end up hallucinating. So we need to give it some knowledge. And we have a vast set of connectors to be able to provide knowledge. It's really endless, the types of things that we can do. You can add multiple things, but for now, I'm going to just add the actual website. So let's go ahead and enter this link. It says it's already been added. Wonder if because I've did this yesterday, let's leave this, let's leave out knowledge and we'll go to create and add it after the fact. So it's setting up this CoPilot. It's running through those instructions that we gave it and generating a starter project for this. Now, one thing that's really important when you look at this is I'm a really big proponent of responsible AI. You know, for something like this where it's a little bit more, I would say, like word-based. I think it's totally fine to have a model be able to go and try to interpret that information, like on a website. If you have APIs, though, I'm not a proponent of just turning a model over to an API when you can do an exact API call. So when I go in here and add, let's see if it'll let me do it now. There we go. We added our website. I'll show you this knowledge. There is lots of other knowledge things that I can add. These are some of the most popular ones, but we also have what's called Power Platform connectors, which we'll delve into at the conference, which just go on forever. And then you even have like generic ones, like if I just want to make a REST call with HTTP, but you could see things like, you know, IBM mainframe type stuff that's in here. There's quite a few connectors to do just about anything. But let's try this out. We've given this some knowledge. We've given it some instructions. Let me just ask, when is the conference? And it comes back and it says the conference will take place in Austin, Texas, October 15th through 17th. And it gives me some citations. That's one of the important things in something where we're relying upon that model is to reference, because it's possible for a model to be wrong. And I saw wrong answers yesterday. That's why I went and tweaked the instructions that I was giving this. But we can go further and say, like, let's say, when is Richard speaking? Richard is not mentioned as a speaker. That's interesting. So here's a great example of a wrong answer error. I probably need to tweak my instructions a little bit. A few things is, like, we're always going to give you the indication that this was a response that was generated by an AI model. So you can see, like, this is surfaced through Azure OpenAI. I can also down arrow this because it gave me an inaccurate answer. Let me see, I'm gonna go to I'm not sure what I did different on here. So let me go to my backup. We'll try my backup bot and ask some of the same questions. So let's see, when does the conference start? And hopefully that will give us a consistent answer. Yep, so it has the specific information. Let's try, let's see. When does the, that's the wrong one. Let's see. Who are the keynote speakers? Well, this is hallucinating quite a bit. Interesting. This was tuned pretty nice the other day, but we'll spend time into how we can fine tune this. This was really kind of pulled together really quick in like 5 minutes, but there's lots of interesting things we can do around instructions. We can add additional knowledge. We can even drive into like triggers to where, like, if something happens, we can have our Copilot automatically prompt the user to do things. And so I could look at the path that this took. There's all kinds of debugging tools. I'm not going to go through all of that right now, but we'll look at how we can build quickly reliable copilots that leverage generative AI, and we'll also go on the coding side of things as well. So this is on the low code side, but we'll also look at a coding approach for it. So looking forward to presenting to you guys here in a few weeks.
Wow. Well, you covered a lot of ground in a few minutes there, Richard. Thanks. I can't wait to see more of this in a couple of weeks. Your keynote during the conference. Well, thank you. I thank both of our Tim and Richard for doing our lightning talks today. I think we've got a Q&A session now. And I'll need some assistance here because I can't see the questions that they've been generated.
I can help out, Mark.
Thanks, John.
Here. One question is, what will the room rate be at the hotel after today? I guess that's a question for you, Mark.
Well, I'm not sure, but because of the F1 after the conference and ACL before, the rates is going to be pretty high, like over $300.
And that discount rate is 209.
Yes.
Through today. Yeah.
And yes, deadline is today.
Okay. Super. Question about Microsoft CoPilot. How is that priced? Or what's the price model, I guess, is the question.
So there's lots of copilots. The M365 CoPilot, which is where I tend to work with a lot of customers on extending that, where that's the Copilot that provides the in-meeting help. That I believe is $30 a month per user. I'll be honest, I'm an engineer, not a licensing guy, so I think that's what the M365 CoPilot is. We offer a lot of other Copilots that are free, It really depends on the CoPilot experience you're looking at. CoPilot Studio, that's licensed. It's licensed per user, but the copilots that you produce, there's no licensing involved with that. So you really just need it for the authors and not for the consumers of a copilot. So it's a complex answer probably to that question, but yeah, hopefully that covers it.
Richard, that's a good homework item for me and you and Roger to make sure that when people come to the conference that we'll have answers and a much better, kind of where they go for the next steps, because that'll be a common thing after people have been immersed in this a couple of days. They're going to want to know what's the next step, what should I do, when should I take the role of an author, so forth. So great.
Okay, I had a couple of IBM questions here, but I think Tim Rowe had to drop off at 10:30, so I guess we'll have to come to the conference to ask questions there. You can also attend remotely, I believe, and have questions during his keynotes.
Right.
On Tuesday. Okay, I think that was what we had for questions.
I was going to add, John, that Tim just got back from the Common Technical Conference down in Florida, and that came up, IBM and the role of AI, and the IBM was a central theme there. So I know that Tim will have a lot more to say about that at the conference.
I think that's all we have, Mark.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Well, I want to thank everybody. We're going to give you a few minutes back of that. I also recall seeing in my meeting notes that that one of the areas that we'll be covering in detail in the conference will be the new Plex release of 7.3 and how to get that and show interest for people, and also bring your experiences. We've got people coming to the conference that I believe have installed that, so that'll be a good theme and a good thread for people's interest as well too. So anyway, thanks everyone for attending this, and I really hope that all of you will take advantage of the free keynote, and those of you who are coming, thank you very much, and you're going to attend virtually. We thank you as well too. Have a great day, and welcome to the autumn here in the Northern Hemisphere, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks at the conference. Bye-bye now.